Today we're taking a look at Yoder's YS640S. This is the competition model. Got it in the gray bottom with the stainless steel shelves. This is just a phenomenal smoker. Looking to upgrade your pellet smoker, you might want to check out Yoder. It's American made. They did not sponsor this video. We bought this ourselves, and let's go over it. This has 1,070 square inches of cooking space. It's made out of 1/8-inch steel. It's very heavy. This has a 20-pound hopper. This is great for when you're doing long smokes. You add the pellets, and in about 10 to 14 hours, then you'd have to add pellets again. So the big hopper is really nice on this. This has 2 temperature probes, which is great for if you're doing different meats and you want to get the right temperature on them. So you can do 2 different meats at one time. Now, when you unbox this unit right now weighs about 420 pounds, 418 give or take. But so when you get this comes in a big crate, and it's actually pretty easy to assemble. Didn't really even need to do a video on it. I think it was almost more time unpacking the unit than it was actually putting it together. So it's fairly simple to put together. Just follow the instructions and you'll get it together in no time. Taking a look at the lid, this is an amazing lid that it's very heavy with this 1/8-inch steel, and it has a nice counterbalance. So when you get the lid up, it keeps it right there, and you don't have to worry about the lid slamming down. It has a nice counterbalance to keep the lid from crashing down. But it is heavy, so you just be aware that if it does start to come down, it may hurt or make a big sound. This did not come with 2 temperature gauges. I don't know why. For the money that you pay for these Yoders, some people may not like having the temperature readings on the hood, but I like it. And we actually did 2 of them. When you get these, they give you a spec of where to drill it and mount it onto the hood, which is really nice. It's pretty easy to do. You just have to have a really good drill bit. You could drill through that 1/8-inch steel, no problem. The temperature range on this pellet grill ranges from 150 all the way up to 600 degrees. So you could easily slow cook a nice brisket or a salmon, and then if you want a steak, you could throw a steak on there, get a nice sear on it, and you don't have to worry about doing too much. There is a couple adjustments that you have to do if you want to sear a steak, but they're fairly simple to do, and you can do it on the fly. This Yoder has a heat dampening shield, which you can come over here on the right-hand side of the grill, and there is a lever, and we can push that all the way in, or we can pull it all the way out, or you can push it halfway in, to whatever you're liking. Now, when we push it all the way in, it is going to move that dampener all the way over to by the pellets, and that's going to concentrate that heat right there for if you're going to be grilling. And then if we're going to be smoking, we want to have that pulled all the way out so we can get a nice even smoke throughout the whole pellet grill. It's an amazing feature because it's super simple to use. You don't have to take the grates out and slide a box over. I know on the Green Mountain we have to do that. We have to take the grates out, and we got to adjust the box for the heat displacement on that grill. This makes it super easy to do. This has the nice Stay Cool handles. These are really, I'm a big fan of these Stay Cool handles because they don't get, of course they don't get hot, but they just give it that old rustic cast iron look to your grill. This does have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity. You can plug in your temperature probes, hook up the app to it, and you can get notified whether if you're in the house or anywhere around your grill of when your meat is ready to be taken off or checked. One thing you can't go without mentioning with these Yoder grills is how big these tires are, these 8-inch tires. These are massive. You have 2 tires that can rotate 360 degrees on a swivel, and then you have 2 stationary tires, so you can easily move this cart around and maneuver it. And it also has, on these tires, they have a grease fitting, so you can grease up the tires and keep them, and they're very well built. Very well. These, I am very impressed with these tires. Very impressed. They're just so massive. This grill is just massive. It's built like a tank. If if you haven't seen firsthand a Yoder grill, go to your local, find where your local Yoder reseller is, and go look at them, because these grills you almost have to see in person, because you can't, just how the craftsmanship on these grills are awesome, just how they build them and how thick this metal is. Yoder does offer different types of trays to get. You can get a wire mesh tray, or you can get a nice stainless steel tray. These trays can be removed, and they are very heavy. On the bottom, this is a stainless steel cover that goes over this grate, and they can be bolted on. So you can get the stainless steel sleeves aftermarket if you want. And this just this weighs probably a good 10 or 12 pounds for this shelf, and it sits very nicely. Over on the other side, we have the chimney, which is it's a detachable chimney, so you can swivel this chimney if you really want to. If, say, you're cooking in at the edge of your garage, you can swivel this chimney just so it can shoot the smoke off to out to the side of the garage. That's if you prefer that. This side shelf is also removable, and it has on the underneath, it's just another sleeve that goes, a stainless steel sleeve that basically just goes over the wire grate and bolts in. Just these wire grates alone are just massive compared to your other pellet grills like your Traeger or Green Mountain or Oklahoma Joe. I've done reviews on a couple of them. This is in its own category. On the bottom, we have our drip bucket for grease. And inside here is just what you can do with this grill on the inside is just amazing. They have all these different grill accessories that you can put into this grill. You can get like a cast iron grate, and there is this whole grate system that just kind of slides out. So if you're doing a big brisket or a big pork shoulder, you could just take this rack and set it off to the side. Mine does need to be cleaned because, you know, it's not like we don't use it, but but just these little grates, these all just need to be cleaned. I should have cleaned it before, but you want to see a working grill, right? Once you take off all the grates, there is a little access panel right here that you can lift up, and you don't have to take the other parts of the grill out, and you can easily get to the hopper feeder and you can clean it out. Very accessible to get to. If you're doing a big smoke, I'd clear it out after you get done doing a big smoke. But if you're just cooking on it, cooking burgers, cooking a little bit of chicken here and there, you know, you can clean it out every couple times you use it. It doesn't have to be done every time. This does have the ceramic ignition system on this. It has the really nice control panel like you see here, and we're just going to fire it up. We got pellets in it. Should have mentioned this earlier. They have a quick reference chart here. This is great for when you're cooking and you just want to know, oh, what was that temperature that I needed for the pork shoulder? Oh, you know, you look on here and you can look over at pork and you can see, oh, you know, if I wanted it medium, it's 160 degrees, because it's like sometimes we have brain farts, and it's nice here to have a nice little cheat sheet right here. And then it gives some cooking tips, and then of course, you know, Yoder's website and their phone number if you have any questions about their grill, if anything comes up, which is It's good. You don't have to search for that stuff. It's all, they have it all right there for you. It's just just the little things that make it for this grill. Now powering up is very simple. You turn the power button on, set this at 250 degrees. We're gonna push the button to set it. And so right now, what it's doing is it's dropping the pellets into the chamber and getting ready for the preheat. So we're gonna cover this back up. Just let that preheat up. The preheat on this grill actually goes fairly quickly, and so does the cool down. I was pretty impressed with the cool down. For preheat, you can come out, preheat this up, go inside, prep your food, get it ready. By the time you get that done, this is already ready to go. Cool down is just as quick. A lot of grills, they take forever to cool down. This one seems like it cuts the time down in about half the time for cool down. There are 3 different color options for this cart that you can get for this Yoder. You have an orange, you have a silver, and you have a black. I got the silver because at the time the orange was actually back ordered, and they had the silver in stock. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just get the silver. I'm all about the grill itself, anyways. But you know, if you can get the orange, that's the color to get for me. So far, the paint on this has lasted very well. I'm very impressed with the paint. It's kind of like I want to say like a matte finish, and it looks like if it is scratched or anything, it looks like it's pretty easily uh, able to be touched up and repainted over. I think that Yoder does sell some touch-up paint that you can get in case that happens. So far, it hasn't happened to me, but I think I might want to invest in getting a can just for any future mishaps. This menu system on this pellet grill compared to other pellet grills that I've cooked on is a lot more intuitive, and it is easier to use. There's a lot more going on that you can customize with this menu system. So that is something to keep in mind when you are looking for this Yoder smoker. The temperature of this grill stays pretty accurate within a couple degrees. The only time it's really going to fluctuate is if you open up the the door on your pellet grill and check it. It's going to fluctuate just a little bit, but it's going to get right back up to the temperature you have set. If you're really looking to get into upgrading your pellet grill, this is definitely the pellet grill that you want to look at. So I'm going to cook up my pork shoulder that I have ready to get smoked. You don't need to see that. Put comments down below. Like the video if you like it. I'm Philip Bridges, and I will see you guys on the next one.